are so big now. What do you want? You want this? Oh, look at the ears. Don't hate me. Indeed, one of the little cysts that they biopsied had some cancer cells. Uh-oh, you're getting a little wide. Did we need another dog? Absolutely not. Say hi to the people, Piper. Well, that's what happens when you're not on the farm. I had milk replacer ordered last week for the weekend. I think for whatever reason we didn't get it, and then I think I was supposed to get it yesterday, and it is still not here, and my lambs have no milk replacer. Thank goodness it does run with water, but it's not ideal. Like some of these lambs are too young to just be getting water. My fault, I guess. I wasn't here yesterday. I was in Toronto with Jess for an appointment, so anyway, hopefully this will get organized in the next hour. Anyway, I'm on chores today. Poor Chris had to go home. Her dog passed, so she's so sad, and I said just go home, spend some time grieving. There's nothing worse than a pet dying, so I get it 100%. So I'm on chores, and yeah, I was just going to fill the nanny, or at least check on her, and she's right dry. So hopefully we'll get that figured out. Come here, honey. Hi. You are so big now. I have not been over here, and it feels like forever. I have been, but just really quickly. There you are. Look how big you are. She's running away from me. We are no longer best friends, apparently. I don't have a bottle. Come here, don't you be shy. Come here. Hi, baby. Look how big you are. Oh, my ladies, it's been so long. Hello, tomatoes. What are you saying? Hi, ladies. What do you want? You want this? Really? That's my girl. Oh, look at the ears. Oh, that's a new one. That's a new trick. Oh, that's a spot. Is that the spot? Oh, that's a spot. Oh. Feels so good. Ruby. Oh, I love it. Okay, well, chores are long done, actually. It's the afternoon now, and I want to get these guys on creep before we get busy doing more stuff. So I am going to vaccinate them. I have a brand new bottle of the Clostridial antitoxin. I give this to them. I actually gave it to the other side here, I don't remember, late last week, I think. So they are all protected. The reason I give them this and not the other lambs with the moms is because they got to stay with moms. So they got so much more immunity off their mom's milk, whereas I took these guys a little bit earlier, obviously. I took them after like 48 hours or so. So they do have quite a bit, but I want them to have more protection of Clostridial. So we're gonna do that, which it's gonna be a bit of a chase, I think. Okay, I think now that we got lambing sort of wrapped up here once and for all, especially with those bottle lambs kind of situated, there's one more creep area I have to set up. Whether I do that closer to the end of the week is sort of maybe the plan. I thought maybe this might be a good chance to just catch up with everything that's been going on kind of in life. I know over the last year, I kind of hinted towards the fact that Jess had some health complications. Last December, she had surgery. I guess a year ago, the word cancer was spoken, and we were most definitely in a state of shock a year ago. And then it turned out to not be that. And we were so relieved and so feeling so blessed that I never really came on and fully told her story because it was her story. I think by the time this comes out, well, it will be, or you will not see this, she would have already come out with a video talking about what she's sort of gone through over the last year, and especially over the last 6 weeks. A year ago, last fall, so it'd be fall of 2021, Jess came down with some back pain, some pretty bad back pain, to the point where shortly after maybe Halloween, like early November, she finally booked an appointment with our family doctor and just said, I'm having some bladder issues, I'm having some back issues, feels like kidneys. And the doctor was like, come on in, we're going to do an ultrasound. So they did an ultrasound. Mark and I were actually out west when she got that done. They couldn't get a hold of her, so they called me. And they basically turned our world upside down in a very short phone call, just saying there is a huge mass in your daughter's abdomen and we can't see around it in the ultrasound that we did. We need her to go for a CT scan. And the one thing he said is usually the big ones mean there's no cancer. So just hold tight to that. And we were like, but you just said cancer. So of course, once you hear that word, you really don't ever unhear it. And it ended up being exactly what he said, just a really large mass actually on her ovary. So we did laparoscopic surgery last December 10th, and they were able to get it. It was huge. It was a 19 centimeter, they call it a cyst, a dermoid cyst or teratoma. And thankfully it was benign, and usually they are. There's like a 97% chance, I believe, that most teratomas are benign. So we rested easy for the rest of the year, and we really didn't talk about it too much online just because it was a very personal thing, talking about, you know, your reproductive health, and it was just something that we all decided as a family we were going to keep as a family. Our friends and close family and friends knew and know, but as for telling the world through social media, I just don't think any of us were ready to do that, and it was really up to Jess. So we never did. Fast forward a year, she texted me early January, mid-January, and saying, "Mom, I think it's back. I have a lump that's protruding in my abdomen again." And I said, "Oh my God." She said, "Don't worry, I've already booked an appointment back home." He saw her the next day, the doctor, and got her in for an emergency CT scan. Locally, she got in that afternoon, and he called her that night at 10 o'clock at her room in Guelph and said, "We need to get you in to see your surgeon ASAP. That thing's already 16 centimeters." So she had another one pop up. And so we had emergency surgery here last, I guess, in February now. And I sort of took you guys through that a little bit, but it never really said what it was, because we at that point we just thought we were dealing with what we dealt with before, which we were. But when I talked to the surgeon, she said we actually found more smaller ones, and she said in the case of this style of cyst, you have to really worry about these smaller immature ones popping up, because the immature ones definitely can be cancerous. So we waited a few weeks for the pathology to come back, and unfortunately that came through when I was just basically at the beginning stages of lambing, which, you know, was just its own form of hell in here. And we were dropped the bomb that indeed one of the little cysts that they biopsied had some cancer cells. And that was a day that I will never forget, because it just was really unexpected. The first time around they were like, "Oh, they're always benign, they're always benign." And this time we had seen the surgeon a couple times, and she just seemed off. She seemed different. She seemed a lot more cautious and just really treading lightly with us, and that's not like her. She's very direct, and we were like, okay. But Jess felt it right away, and she's like, "There's something wrong." She's not telling us, but there's something wrong. And sure enough, Jess was right, and she knows her body, and she said, she knew right away that this perhaps was worse than we thought. So fast forward to basically yesterday, after a lot of scheduling and meeting new doctors, we now have an oncologist that we see. We haven't met our chemo doctor, but he's next to meet, and we also have a fertility clinic we're working with, because it is her ovaries that have been somewhat compromised. She's still good that way, but we were like, if she's going to go through chemo, let's do some fertility treatment and retrieve eggs, just so if anything ever happened or this chemo does end up being detrimental to her follicles, then at least we have some frozen. So we just started that process yesterday. I took Jess to Toronto to the fertility clinic there, and we did her first injections last night. And then next Tuesday we go back to Toronto for another ultrasound and blood work, and then I believe it's called a trigger injection. And that's just to mature the eggs and get them prepared for retrieval. And then I believe next Thursday is when we're actually going to do the procedure of retrieving the eggs and freezing them. And then she has to recover from that. And then she has final exams at school. She just didn't want to defer. She's like, I'll just write them. I know I'm not going to do good, because she's missed like the last 3 weeks of school basically because of appointments. So she can try her best. She's been doing pretty good up to this point, so she did not want to defer exams. It's just, we had to do that with her first surgery and it was kind of a nightmare. So I think her last exam is on the 24th, and then I think we have surgery tentatively booked for the 26th, where they are taking out an ovary and a fallopian tube and taking some samples of some other organs just to make sure the cancer hasn't spread, and to also stage the cancer for her chemo treatment. And then chemo, the oncologist wants to start pretty quickly after that. So 2 weeks after her surgery, so she'll just be nicely barely recovered, and she's gonna have to be she's gonna have to start her chemo treatment. So the next I don't know how long is gonna be, it's really gonna just turn our family on its head, which it already sort of has, but I haven't been able to bring you guys along for the journey because we didn't know what the journey was. And there's been a lot of waiting, and there's been a lot of dead ends, and there's been a lot of like 90 degrees. You get somewhere and you have to do something else. So I think now that we have a timeline, we're all feeling a little bit better. Chemo is devastating. I think that's the worst part right now, just because we don't know what that looks like. And Jess has had to give up her summer job because she knows she's going to be too sick. So that's sad. But the girl is so positive and so strong, and what's getting her through it is actually girls her age that have been sharing it online. So I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for sharing this. I know she's going to get a lot of hate for sharing her story, or a lot of people trying to tell her what to do. I pray that's none of my community here. If you do go over and watch her video, please be gentle and just keep her in your thoughts and prayers, but don't go over there and tell her what to do or how to cope with cancer, because we have a really good team working with her, and I don't want this video to give her masses of people that confuse her or derail her. So yeah, I was very hesitant putting anything up on my channel, but it very much affects me, as I've kind of barged my way into being her sort of partner through all this. As much as Mark's amazing and would do anything with Jess, I do sometimes wonder if Jess is just a little more comfortable some of the time with me taking her to some of these clinics where it's like all women, even though Mark's amazing and he would do anything for his daughter. I've just kind of barged my way into taking most of the onus of the appointments and stuff. I think partly because I just always did. I did when they were little. I just did it. I don't know if that's a woman thing, but I shouldn't do that as much as I do. But yeah, so we have kind of a journey ahead of us. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to balance the sheep and YouTube and my daughter, but at the end of the day, my daughter is first in line. Our whole family's going to just need each other to be really strong and stable for Jess. But I thought I needed you guys to know why I'm sort of crying every other time you see me. And just thank you for being here, for being supportive, and yeah, not getting too frustrated with me when I am maybe 50% of who I probably should be out here. And we are doing our best. That's all we can do. You tell them where to go. Good morning. We are just sorting sheep this morning. I've got a few ewes that missed in the last breeding, so I want to ship them, and I also want to ship some rams that are just related to too many ewes in the flock. So we're going to go to the sales barn this afternoon. I'm going to see if Mark is able to help me, if his wrist is feeling strong enough, because I cannot handle the rams on my own. So hopefully that's on today's agenda. It's kind of weather depending, but we're going to sort this morning. This is Willow's group. Morning.
Morning.
We are en route to London. Today is a little more recreational, not appointment based, which
Finally.
is nice. Jess and I are gonna run into town and do a couple big things today.
I'm nervous.
While she's still
I'm
somewhat healthy. We don't know if this is the worst decision we've ever made or the best.
Which one? There's a few decisions being made today.
Probably a little bit of both. Come along with us, and then I promise we'll be back with the sheep soon. This is more important today.
This will be fun.
Still too cold for my girls.
Princesses. I look completely different.
I knew you. It's hard to see in my camera.
Look how short it is. I know, it's really cute. And it's cute. Didn't like the way he styled it, but I wet it in the bathroom. I like it. It's cute.
It is.
It's so short though. Holy. 10 inches.
10 inches, but you're donating
10
it.
inches, but I'm donating it.
I love it.
Oh, it's so cute. And it's
Okay,
kind of
let's
like
eat.
flicking. Yeah, let's eat. I did a bad thing. There's puke all over me.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Monk.
Say hi to the people, Piper.
Say hi.
Someone's emotional support puppy. I think she's gonna be all our emotional support puppy. Okay, I'll take your puke.
I'm gonna take the puke out.
Lucy! Come say hi to your sister.
Come on.
Are you here, Lucy? Who's it? Oh, who's that? I know, Luce, I know.
Oh my goodness.
Say hello to your little sister, Lucy.
Oh, she hates her life.
She hates her life. Come here, guys. Hi, Kinsey. Hi, I know.
Good girl, Kinsey. It's a good girl. Aw, you're so sweet. Middle
yes.
child here.
Hi, you're okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay.
What do you think of your...
Cute.
She's so cute.
Sleepy.
How's she been? Have
You
you been
look
outside
good.
the whole time?
No, she's just been smelling the house the whole time.
You're still my little doggy. You're still my
Kinsey
little
got all
dog.
protective over her.
Did she?
Yeah, so Lucy went over, like Lucy's been in her crate this whole time. And she finally got out to smell her and Kinsey just like attacked.
It's like, oh, Lucy, are you depressed?
She's so depressed.
Alright, I got 3 harnesses you can pick from.
She's hungry already. You need an extra small?
I don't know, she's pretty tiny.
She is pretty tiny.
Get around, is there?
How depressed Lucy looks. Good morning. We survived our first night with little miss. She's got a set of lungs for being so small. Yeah, so she was a short night, let's say that, but hopefully we'll get this little puppy crate trained for poor Jess. Did we need another dog? Absolutely not. Even though it's going to be a ton of work, it also might keep Jess smiling, and I think that's the goal right now. And to be honest, she's keeping us smiling, and it's been a dark few weeks, and having a little puppy makes everything better. It is Good Friday today, but I took yesterday off, so I asked Chris if she'd give me a hand this morning hoof trimming my boys, because next week they have to do some work. So we're gonna set up here and hoof trim Billy and the boys. Uh-oh, you're getting a little wide load. Oh, he's all wool. Or not. boy. How are we doing? What is it? Iodine?
On his face.
How do you get that? Dripped onto his face. Good boy. There you go. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Hi. We have got all the jobs I think done, and it's only 10:15, so I'm sort of glad I just came out here and got this done today as I'm going over the next few weeks. It's starting to get a little bit stressful just trying to juggle Jess's appointments with things that have to happen here management wise. The thing is, when our health is good, or when your kid's health is good, we keep taking on more and more and more things because you're doing well, you feel good, you have time, and I think we load ourselves down with probably what seems like a manageable amount of work, and then if there's a hiccup in life, especially health related, all of a sudden the things that you could easily do look like mountains that you have to climb. So I've been very stressed about Jess, but on top of that I'm like, how are we gonna do this? But Mark is like, he is so grounded, and he's just like, we deal with it one day at a time, because you're gonna stress yourself out when you keep thinking ahead. I have to remind him with livestock, everything is very planned and organized, and I have to think ahead. I have to be planning ahead. It's easy to miss dates that are very important. And yeah, anyway, so that's sort of where I'm sitting right now. And it's hard to explain how I'm feeling, even maybe sometimes to Mark, but he understands. And it's just a very different journey that we're about to go on. And we have been so blessed with healthy parents as well, healthy siblings and healthy children. And not everyone in the world can say that. And yeah, I've had a lot of enlightening moments in this whole process. Even though it's been dark, I've had a lot of like, wow, people deal with this every single day. When you go into a cancer wing of a hospital and every chair is taken, whether it's a support person or the actual patient, it's just like, this affects it affects so many people. And unless you're in it, it is really hard to have the empathy that you feel once you are a part of this group, community. And yeah, so I think for the rest of the weekend we are gonna work on the cabin again. It's the first weekend Mark's felt good enough with his hand, and then maybe even have an overnight this weekend, hopefully, if it's dry enough to get back there.
I don't know what it is about the maple, it's kind of weird, like a person smell. So I was thinking about doing half.
Looks good.
Blends in pretty good.
Yeah. You will not fall off that one.
But,
Ladder secured. When we're not using it, we're gonna slide it to the wall. Oh, you're gonna demonstrate?